Hello, I am Grandma Miss Florence, and I am going to tell you some wonderful stories from all around the world. So make sure you tune in to Storytime with Grandma Miss Florence. See you soon. Hello, and welcome back to Storytime with Grandma Miss Florence. Today, we will be reading Anansi and the Sheep by Adam Bushnell and Nunu Alexandra Vieira. It is a Reading Champion book, Purple 8. So let us start. Anansi and the Sheep. In a time long ago, there lived Anansi. He was no ordinary spider. He was a spider who liked to help others. One day, Anansi was busy building a web in a tree near a farm when he saw a sad sheep. "What's the matter?" asked Anansi. "I'm so hungry," replied the sheep. Anansi looked surprised. "But can't you eat the grass?" he said. The sheep shook his head. "No," he replied. "There hasn't been any rain for a long time. The grass is dried up and the pond has no water. I wish I could leave and find a nice green field to live in." Anansi knew he could help the sheep find a new field to live in. So he shot out of his web threads to make a ramp and helped the sheep cross over the fence. Just then, the farmer came out of the barn. He looked very angry. "Stop, thief!" he shouted at Anansi. Anansi and the sheep ran away as quickly as they could. Anansi and the sheep ran and ran. They ran so fast they did not look where they were going. They ran straight into a lion. The lion roared and showed his teeth. Anansi looked around. He saw lots of heavy, ripe mangoes hanging in the tree above the lion. This gave Anansi an idea. "Do not eat us," cried Anansi. "The sky is falling. You must run away." The lion looked up. Anansi quickly picked up a rock and threw it at the mango. The mango fell to the ground with a crash. The lion thought the sky really was falling. He screamed with fright and ran away. Anansi and the sheep ran and ran. They both wanted to get far away from the lion. But then they ran straight into a cheetah. The cheetah growled and licked his lips. "Do not eat us," cried Anansi, pointing to the sky. "The sky is falling. You must run away." Anansi threw a rock while the cheetah wasn't looking. He knocked down a few limes behind the cheetah. The cheetah, too, thought the sky was falling. He screamed and ran with fright. Anansi and the sheep ran and ran. By now, they were too tired to notice that what was ahead of them. They ran straight into the panther. The panther snarled and snapped his jaws. "Do not eat us," shouted Anansi, pointing up to the sky. "The sky is falling! You must run away." The panther looked up. Anansi used a rock and knocked down a bunch of bananas. The panther heard the bananas crashing down behind him. He screamed with fright and ran away. Anansi and the sheep ran and ran. Finally, they came to a field of nice green grass. "Here you are," said Anansi. "This can be your new home, and you can eat as much of this nice green grass as you like." The sheep ate and ate. When evening came, Anansi made a web up in a tree. He helped the sheep climb up, and they both went to sleep in the large web. Just then, the lion, cheetah, and panther came along. They sat next to the tree. "A spider and a sheep told me the sky was falling," the lion grumbled. "They tricked me." "The same thing happened to me," the cheetah growled. "And to me," the panther snarled. "If we see those two again, we should eat them up," roared the lion. Anansi looked at the sheep and whispered, "Keep very quiet." "But they'll eat us if they see us up here," said the sheep. He was so frightened that he began to shake. "Stop shaking," said Anansi. "You'll fall out." But the sheep couldn't stop shaking. All of a sudden, he fell out of the web and hit the ground with a thud. "Oh no! The sky really is falling!" screamed the lion. "A cloud just fell out of the sky!" cried the cheetah. "Let's get out of here!" yelled the panther. The three animals ran away as fast as they could. Anansi and the sheep smiled at each other and settled back down to sleep. When they woke up the next morning, they looked out over the nice green field. "Do you like it here?" Anansi asked. "Oh, yes," cried the sheep. "It's much nicer here than the dried-up farm. Thank you for helping me." Anansi hugged his new friend, then set off to find more animals to help. The sheep stayed in the field. He ate all the grass he wanted, and in the nice green field he lived happily ever after. You see? There are people out there that will help us. We just have to trust and have faith. Anansi and the sheep. See you next time on Storytime with Grandma Miss Florence.